situation when it comes to the cases rising due to the coronavirus pandemic in the country is frightening to say the least. In fact, India has added nearly 2 lakh cases in the last 24 hours. That's an unprecedented figure, taking the overall count to about 1.4 crores. We've been one of the world's worst hit countries, and that has forced the state to go ahead and impose a lot of curbs and controls in order to try and control the virus. In fact, you've got the number of death rates as well that have been rising. Close to 1,038 people dying in the same time span, and the overall fatalities having risen to nearly 1.7 lakh. So clearly the situation is looking very dire at the moment, with the fifth straight day of the country seeing over 1.5 lakh new cases and the 9th straight of the 1 lakh cases. So we wanted to take stock of this situation. What exactly does this mean? What about the new mutations of the virus? What about people who are vaccinated and who are getting coronavirus? What about the overall vaccination drive, the second wave, the curbs that have been imposed? What does all of this mean? Well, we spoke with Dr. Pardiwalla of Wockhardt Hospital. We also spoke of Ranjit, Shahani, who was with Novartis, as well as gotten a view from the management of Shalby Hospitals to just understand this entire issue in greater detail. Now, Dr. Pardiwalla we started off by asking him that whether or not people who have been vaccinated and who get the coronavirus, what exactly does that mean when they've got their first shot? He said that that is exactly the point of the virus, that it is protecting you and making sure that you do not get any worse symptoms, that it lasts for say 2 to 3 days. You've got fever, you've got a mild body ache or whatever your symptoms are, but you get better, and that just proves that the vaccine is actually working. While there is a new mutation of the vaccine, he did say that the RT-PCR test is as of now the only and the best way to detect the same. And yes, it does detect that. There are only certain strains, according to some of the US authorities, that say that this one is not detected. But he also added that it is very important that you make sure that when an RT-PCR test is done, that it goes, right inside, and so we get a good swab in order to detect whether or not there's been some new mutation of the virus that has spread. The management of Shalby Hospital did say that the second wave is definitely larger than the first one, and that we will, India as a country will go closer to the herd immunity. We may see a peak in the next 2 to 3 months, but we need to be prepared for it, and we should see this peak coming soon. He did say that for the company, they do plan to increase their overall ROCE, and COVID is definitely aiding that. We spoke with Mr. Ranjit Shahani, who said that they are moving up the value chain, which is imperative in India for pharma. The pure R&D play in India is still some time away, and that pharma needs to focus on innovation-led growth. E-pharmacies have risen going forward. The opportunity does exist for generic players, for a lot of patent players, and the top 5 companies in the US are likely to spend more on R&D as compared to India. We're extremely well poised as a country within the pharma segment, and there is a lot of potential for India to expand their pharma as a global innovation hub.